See this crap? Somebody knows I'm talking to you.
Not according to the men in blue.
Oh, what is it this time? Kiddie porn again? Sexual battery of a patient?
They want to discredit you for what?
Because I'm a dangerous man, because I know too much about the truth.
Now, that end-of-the-world apocalyptic garbage, you right?
You know my work? I was right about Dallas, wasn't I?
How were you right?
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
The plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting gooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know. The timetable has been set. It'll happen on a holiday when people are away from their homes. The president will declare a state of emergency, at which time all government, all federal agencies will come under the power of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the secret government.
They call me paranoid.
Go back to Dallas, Agent Mulder, and dig. Or we're gonna find out along with the rest of the country when it's too late.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus. The main reason for this declaration is not because of what is happening in China, but because of what is happening in other countries.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words.
I want to recognize that earlier today, the province of Ontario announced a provincial state of emergency. And today's announcement is an example of what we're seeing across the country.
In response, the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has declared Saturday a state of emergency.
I'm informing you that we've decided to declare a state of emergency.
Ethiopia has declared a state of emergency.
Over in Indonesia, the governor of Jakarta has declared a state of emergency.
Botswana wants to extend the state of emergency. This to curb the spread of COVID-19 before it overstretches the country's limited resources.
The poorest country in the Americas is on lockdown. Haiti's airports, schools, factory, and seaports are closed. Worried shoppers are stocking up with basic supplies.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe declared a state of emergency on Tuesday, giving authorities more power to stop its coronavirus outbreak.
Lizzie, that's right. As of midday today, a state of emergency will come into effect in Victoria. It will last for a 4-week period at least. What this means is it gives the Chief Health Officer powers to stop the spread of the virus, anything that they need to do to protect the health of Victorians. So that includes detaining people, restricting movement, preventing entry to premises.
New power for Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán to rule by decree with no time limit set. and jail sentences of up to 5 years for anyone deemed to have been spreading fake news about the novel coronavirus. Those among the sweeping new powers voted for by more than 2/3 of Hungary's parliament on Monday.
President will declare a state of emergency. All government agencies will come under the power. Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Who are you to give them hope?
What do you give them?
We give them happiness. And they give us authority.
The authority to take away their freedom under the guise of democracy.
Men can never be free because they're weak, corrupt, worthless, and restless. The people believe in authority. They've grown tired of waiting for miracle and mystery. Science is their religion. No greater explanation exists for them. They must never believe any differently if the project is to go forward.
At what cost to them?
The question's irrelevant, and the outcome inevitable. The date is set.
At what cost to them for your own selfish benefit? How many must die at your hand to preserve your stake in the project?
You mentioned in the piece that, in fact, you think containment would prolong the duration of the virus.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
With all respiratory diseases, the only thing that stops the disease is herd immunity. About 80% of the people need to have had contact with the virus, and the majority of them won't even have recognized that they were infected, or they had very, very mild symptoms, especially if they are children. So it's very important to keep the schools open and kids mingling to spread the virus, to get herd immunity as fast as possible. And then the elderly people who should be separated and the nursing homes should be closed during that time can come back and meet their children and grandchildren after about 4 weeks when the virus has been exterminated.